the state of Washington felt the earthshake as freestyle motocross returned to the Tacoma Dome. Taking the win was the Flying Hawaiian Clifford Adaptante. He would go on to become the reigning Triple Crown champion. This year, his successor appears to be the Cowboy, Kenny Bartram. At our first stop of the 2002 season, Kenny set the pace, going back-to-back, winning both nights of competition in Indianapolis. But that was several months ago, and a lot has happened since then. The question is, how has time away from the Triple Crown been spent? And will Kenny still be the man to beat at stop number 2? This is the Xbox Pro of FMX, presented by Mountain Dew. Welcome, everyone, to Tacoma, Washington, and the second stop of 3 of the Vans Triple Crown of Freestyle Motocross. Pat Parnell along with Ken Harkin. And when you talk about freestyle motocross, inevitably, you always talk about the danger factor. Case in point, 3 of the top riders out of contention right now. Last year's champion, Clifford Adaptante, along with Mike Jones and Nate Adams. And it's interesting, without these riders in the fight for right now, it's kind of igniting some of the younger riders.
Certainly has. Take the Disler brothers and Drake McElroy. These guys have really stepped up their riding as of late. They're linking tricks together. They're putting together contest-winning runs. And it's going to be very difficult for Kenny Bartram to hold on to that lead. Drake is right there nipping at his heels.
Absolutely. As we saw last night in the first night of 2 events here from Tacoma, as Kenny Bartram had his work cut out for him. Our first night of competition was full of surprises, beginning with one of the Triple Crown's most consistent riders, Tommy Clowers, not qualifying for the final.
Tommy not making the final last night was a big surprise, because usually the guy's spot on every time, all the time. It's not very often you get a mistake out of him. So having 2 runs in a row where he made a mistake, I know he's going to come back 10 times stronger and 10 times more focused tonight. So it's going to be tough tonight.
Tommy's good buddy and roommate Jeff Tilden would be dealt a surprise of his own, and if you're a mom, you may want to look away.
Yeah, during I think it was my second qualifying run, probably my 4th jump in, came up short on one of the double-doubles. And when I do that, man, sometimes I pay the price when my shoulder pops out, and last night was one of them. Popped out, got it right back in, wasn't a big deal. It's a little bit sore this morning, but I'll be able to ride, no problem.
That's tilt, man. He'll throw the biggest whip, shoulder come out, run off the side of the track, do a little pop it in thing, and he's back out ready to go. I'd be out for 3-4 weeks crying with my shoulder popping out like that.
Making last night's final were both of the Dislers, with the younger brother, Robert, being the first to take the hot seat. But he would soon give it up to Ronnie, who's your daddy Renner.
Yeah, I hung on to the hot seat a bit, not quite as long as I wanted to, but, you know, everybody's riding good, trying to adapt to a little longer course than usual, so, you know, I'm happy to be there a bit. Did a little better than I should have, I think.
Last night was pretty good. I ended up bumping Ronnie Renner out of the hot seat, and then, unfortunately, but good for me, Bo Bamberg and Dustin Miller had a little bit of trouble last night, and I ended up beating both of those guys, and then Drake McElroy, he knocked me out, which I was kind of wondering if I was going to make it up there the whole night. I was pretty excited. Didn't want to hope for mistakes, but kind of did.
Jake obviously didn't hope hard enough as Drake McElroy took his final run. Drake has been charging of late, and a nearly flawless run put him in command of the hot seat with only 1 rider remaining. Van's Triple Crown points leader, Kenny the Cowboy Bartram.
I was sitting up on the structure watching Drake's run, and he had a killer run. I just kept watching him going, oh, I was stoked for Drake because he had an awesome run, but I was hoping he'd screw up on something. And he definitely put the pressure on me and kept me sweating. So I knew I had to throw down everything I had and had to have an awesome run. And actually screwed up once. I forgot a trick and ended up doing a heel clicker, but it was better than a dead sailor, and judges didn't penalize me too bad for it, so I ended up winning.
Congratulations goes to Kenny Bartram. Can he do it again tonight? We'll find out in a bit. But first, let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Robbie Floyd.
Thanks, guys. When I think of the Tacoma Dome, I think of 2 things. One of them is history. Back in '98, that's when it all started in freestyle motocross here at the Tacoma Dome, indoors. Another thing is the expansive area they have to work with. 6 different ramps in all. Normally, they have 3. This double section on each side, that's going to be the make or break point for these guys, because after they hit that first hit, they've got to come up with something really quick. If they screw up, it's going to cost them in the judges' mind. We'll see who doesn't screw up tonight.
One of the top riders here tonight, Jimmy McGuire. His run and much, much more right after this. About to get underway. Let's go down to Robbie Floyd with our first rider, Jimmy McGuire.
Jimmy McGuire, first time to make the night show at the Triple Crown. You're nervous of it. You're changing your routine the last second.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't even really expecting to make it. I wasn't ready. I just put my run together just now, so pray for the best and hope I do good.
Go out there, have fun, and don't forget anything.
All right, thanks, Robert.
All right, Jimmy, you tell he's nervous.
It's interesting, Ken, when you watch these guys ride, they make it look so easy, but there's such a meditative, a premeditative, application before these guys go into their runs.
Yeah, well, let's not forget they're careening over gaps that are about 80 feet in length, and they're on a 225-pound motorcycle. You do not want to make a mistake. So many things they have to focus on. So you can't blame Jimmy for getting nervous. I'd be in the same boat. Starts up, getting a nice extension on that seat grab Superman.
Another thing these riders have to contend with, Robbie pointed out at the top of the show, is the rhythm sections. Right now, Jimmy going to the left side of it.
That's right.
Set up immediately right into a second jump.
And you can see he's having a little bit of trouble just getting into that zone. He does tend to get nervous, and this being his first final in a Triple Crown, it's really going to be a learning experience for him. I don't expect him to really do too much in the way of making waves here. But what I think is going to happen is he's now going to gain that experience, and we'll be seeing him later on in future Triple Crown events.
A textbook Cordova there.
You know what, Pat, you mentioned the rhythm section, and that's what's great about the Tacoma Dome is it really has so much space for the riders to work with. The course designers can create these rhythm sections so that you can see just what's capable on a motocross bike. Nice scissor Indian air, switchblading it.
I actually ran into Jimmy McGuire at one of the other Vans Triple Crown events,
That's right.
The wakeboarding event. He's actually an avid wakeboarder when he's not doing freestyle motocross. Actually camped out for 2 days at the Triple Crown event and checked out all the wakeboarding.
He's also one heck of a go-kart driver as well. And he's doing a good job of staying on the bike. A little Superman there, not one of the bigger tricks, but certainly feeling his way through the course and staying on the bike, very important.
Showing good rhythm through those double sections on either side.
Yes, very nice. Cliffhanger, stretching it out.
Extension on that. Another good extended trick on the two-handed Superman seat grab. Jimmy McGuire.
That's what judges are looking for. They're looking for the extension, the amplitude, and difficulty of these tricks. Jimmy's doing a good job of the extending part, but here you see a little tentative on the suicide lander, but he does get it and is able to hold his hands off.
Jimmy McGuire giving the fans here quite a show on the first run of the finals. Look at this. John Disler coming out. Good friends of Jimmy McGuire, one of the Hessian Aggression, taking a victory lap with Jimmy McGuire. And these guys are such showmen. It's why this sport gained such a huge fan base. This guy's taking a little double run here. Look at this, right on top of each other. Big tsunami from Disler there.
And we start things off with a scale fish to saran wrap. He brings it right around that hand. He has to let go to get that right leg through the bars. Very extended. Look at him, just out there looking at the top of the Tacoma Dome, making sure he's doing a little structural engineering there. And finally, we have a rock solid, and we have a tsunami by John Disler thrown in for good measure.
So our first rider of the night, Jimmy McGuire, sets the tone with a 90.3. Our next rider up, Ronnie Renner, in very good standing in the Vans Triple Crown FMX points race right now, currently in second place.
And he's a very hyperkinetic young man. He really screams all over on that bike, and he also does some very interesting breakdancing moves, but I want to see the worm, maybe a little backspin. It's hard to do in the dirt. You never know with Renner. And look at that, like, kind of a candy can, no footage, swiveling around almost backwards. Gumby boy.
And there's a stripper, a move that he invented, half bar hop, half Cordova.
We got to keep him out of those bars, though, to come up with the names of the tricks. It's not good for the nation's youth. Oh, and that's not good for the nation's youth either. You can see a nice heart attack.
Completely vertical on that.
That's
90
right.
degrees. That's exactly how you want to be on that trick.
Flying away. Flap him, baby. A rock solid.
Ronnie Renner's riding ability is so steadily improved. He made his kind of debut to the Vans Triple Crown actually at the same place, Tacoma Dome, last year.
Such style. Nobody can with a whip thrown in. Getting it almost Indian aired. And really plays with the crowd. That's why they get behind him. Although some of his fellow competitors tease him about kind of his showmanship. I've seen him being roosted at some events, and that means, you know, he may be perturbing some of the other competitors, but check it out.
Big cliffhanger on the second set there.
Now what we're seeing is we're seeing a good run here. I expect him to take over that #1 position from Mr. McGuire.
He's linked so many tricks together, very, you know, not too repetitive.
Definitely not extension. There's excitement in the run. You can see that he thought this out. I mean, this is not just going out and winging it. This is somebody who's really been focused on his riding, someone who wants to make an impact on tour. And we're seeing a trick that Drake McElroy has invented, the corpse or the Ted body. Because if you don't pull it, you're going to be a dead body.
Just that bar hop completely extended where you're basically back, your spine is over the front tire. That is going to finish it out for Ronnie Renner.
And showing the decline of the Western civilization, the trick's name is the stripper. We're getting a little crazy here, folks. And also the rock solid look at this, over 80 feet. He's traveling with no hands or feet on the bike. Let's go down to Robbie for the score.
90.3 the score to beat 91.0. That Xbox hot seat, that's your place right now.
So Ronnie Renner, the new leader for the moment. Stay with us. Tommy Tomcat Clowers is up next. The competition got underway tonight. The fans had a chance to meet some of their FMX idols.
All right, it's your chance to meet these guys. Who's your favorite rider?
Kenny Bartram.
Why is that?
He just goes off.
Never get old.
No, never. Not when the ladies are this beautiful.
All right, Jeff, Tilton out of the way. Robbie Floyd's coming in. Let Robbie, I'll show you all the tricks. Come on, get back. Get.
Robbie's having way too much fun at those meet and greets.
Yeah, a little child abuse, though, it appears.
Up right now, Tommy Clowers, and last night he missed the final for the first time in his career.
Last night, things didn't go that well for me. I rode pretty good, but I messed up each run on one jump, and nowadays the competition's so tough that you can't get away with that, and I just didn't make the final.
That means a lot coming from Tommy. He's the 2000 Vans Triple Crown champion of FMX, and it definitely says a lot about the level of the sport nowadays. I mean, you need to put together such a flawless run, meaning, you know, non-repetitive tricks, totally executed, punctuate your moves, stay pinned in the corners.
You know, I was actually talking to him earlier on, and he was saying that it's great to have a big course. However, they're used to smaller courses. You can see they're riding around a lot more. It's harder to squeeze all their tricks in the allotted time.
Flowers, very flexible. You pointed out at the first stop, Kennan. He's got these swivel hips. There's Ronnie Renner, the current leader, the score to beat right now, a 91.
You know, it's interesting. We see a younger rider like Renner, and he's really stepping up the sport, and that's what Tommy needs to do. He's doing runs that he has done in the past. These are stock runs for Tommy. He really needs to become a little bit more avant-garde, as the French say.
Well, right when you pointed that out, did a standard whip. Nowadays, you're expected to do almost showcase a new move at every single stop.
Especially in a sport that's now evolved into backflips, it's very important to keep up with the Joneses. And I'm not talking about Mike Jones, who's actually out on injury, but look, there you go, the Tomcat, the Catnack.
Good extension, getting upside down on the heart attack right there.
And a 9 o'clock knack from Tommy Clowers. You can see just kind of going through the turns, real mellow. Expect to see some other riders like Kenny Bartram really whip through those turns, keep the excitement, a nice clip hanging to nothing, getting a little sketchy on the landing.
And that's what you see a lot of nowadays is the combination moves, the blending of sometimes, 2, 3 moves at once. Good, rock solid there, though. Love that one, coming completely off the bike, going over the gas. Having to stay in rhythm right there. 2 jumps back to back.
Not many people realize there's so much control with the throttle when you're going off a jump. If you mistime it, your bike is not going to arc properly, but his legs sure arced properly on that last jump.
Flowers ends on a huge note.
And here, one-handed Superman secret, great style as his right hand comes behind his back. And here, a new trick for Clowers. Not necessarily new in the sport, but there, clip hanging to nothing. Robbie?
Classic Tommy Clowers out there. Tommy, crowd was behind you, but what do you think about your run?
Actually, I thought my run was pretty good. I guess I just ran out of time. I don't know. The course is really long. Not really used to a course like this, and the ramps are so far away for me. I kind of have to creep up to them for a while till I can get on it, and I guess I just lose some time that way.
Ronnie, a 91.0 and 90.6, but a good run nonetheless, Tommy.
Thank you.
The Pacific Northwest, most notably known for its kickback lifestyle, beautiful scenery, and its unusually damp climate, lit up as the world's best freestylers hit the ramps. The roar from the raucous crowd was enough to push all of the riders' fears and inhibitions aside. Adam Jones, the Triple Crown rookie, was the first to hit the ramps, igniting the arena in the process.
Oh, man, I was so happy. Everything I did was just next to perfect for me, and I mean, I rode great. It's the best I've rode in a long time.
Adam surprised everyone, including himself, by scoring a 91.6, and by so doing surpassed 3 of last night's finalists, Jake Wyndham and the Dissler brothers, on his way to tonight's main.
Up-and-comer Andy Jones, who's experiencing some success on the IMFA Tour, has been unable to break into the Vans Triple Crown final 2 nights in a row despite his obvious talent.
At stop number 1, Oregonian Bo Bamberg failed to make the final by stacking in his run. Redeeming himself in Tacoma, he's regained his confidence, and a flawless qualifying run has him in tonight's final.
You're gonna have to relax, and it's tough when it's Vans Triple Crown, national TV. You just got, you got a lot in your head. I'm happy. I'm always happy to make the finals, and I'm not going to complain about that.
Stay with us. When we return, we will see Bo Bamberg's final run, and we're also going to take a look at some behind-the-scenes footage of the Dissler. In our first run of the final tonight, Jimmy McGuire was joined by Big Dis, a.k.a. John Dissler, the older of 2 Dissler brothers. Earlier, we caught up with both he and younger brother Robert to find out what they've been up to since our last FMX event.
Well, since the last Triple Crown event, Robert and I have actually been on tour for quite a while, doing other shows in other states, because basically in Arizona it's too hot. And then when we are home, we go out and play in our pre-runner trucks that we have. And right now, mine's being built as we speak, and I'm hoping to get a good 20 inches of travel out of the front end and somewhere around 28 out of the rear, which is more than a motorcycle. So you can do quite a lot of stuff in it and go through the desert way too fast than you're supposed to.
It's cool. Just like that's why we ride dirt bikes. Not supposed to jump a dirt bike like we're doing, and then same thing with the truck. I don't know, it's different and it's exciting, so I get fun out of it.
It's great having a brother in the same level of competition that I am in. I mean, we can go out every day when we go practice. He learns something new, I feel obligated to learn something new too. You both push, because instead of just you going out by yourself and trying to learn something, it's hard to get motivated, hard to do it, but if you're both working on the trick and one of you pulls it sooner, like first, the next person has to go, oh, well, I got to do that today.
Pretty much we help each other out, and it's definitely, it shows, I guess.
good to see the Distler's thirst for RPMs doesn't stop with motorcycles. Next up is Oregon's Bo Bamberg, a new father and rising talent in the sport. While Jimmy McGuire rode well and Tommy Clowers fared much better than last night, Ronnie Renner has laid down the claim to the hot seat after a great ride that earned him a 91. The question is, can Bo beat that? You know, and considering, Ken, how Bo has been riding, I'm going to say yes.
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, Ronnie has really been riding well, but Bo has the capabilities. Another young rider who's just lit himself up. And look at this, kiss of death, almost into a tsunami.
Well, Ken, when you talk about younger riders, you talk about riders that are definitely willing to take chances, getting back there on the lazy boy. And I don't know, that mindset seems to run rampant in all of the action sports. Younger riders put it on the line.
Absolutely, and let me just, to be fair to everyone out here, you get on a dirt bike, you're taking a chance. And Bo Bamberg certainly has had his fair share of injuries. A crash in the first stop kept him out of the finals. But you know what? He's here to redeem himself, and that looks like he's doing it right now as he goes through the rhythm. Sailfish to Saran, really working OT. Oh, getting in some trouble on that turn. That's going to hurt him. You really got to blow through those turns, especially on a big course like this. He was actually looking at a list on his crossbar pad, telling what to do. You know what? This is like studying the day of the exam. You have got to have it down. Robbie had it down. He flowed right through that run.
A crib sheet. It's, you know, you compare that to Kenny Bartram. He'll get out there beforehand and get very zen, kind of kung fu master, kind of visualize his way through his run.
Yeah, I was watching that on Discovery 2 last night also about the kung fu guys, and we got some kung fu happening here. Watch as they take their feet off, kicking him around. Look out.
No Ronnie Feist, though, in the finals.
No, unfortunately. We'll be seeing him hopefully in a later event. And a nice whip, getting almost upside down.
One of those tricks, it's such a classic trick, but when you push it,
you never are tired of seeing a whip.
Little hesitant on the bar hop.
So Bo having a good run, but I don't think it's enough to take over what Ronnie Renner did. Wait, a sterilizer, and he lands it solid, like he's got suction cups on his buttocks. Amazing. It sounded like Forrest Gump when I said buttocks. Anyhow, take a look at the tsunami. Very vertical, really good extension, hangs it off there for a while, and next up we have a no-footed one-handed can-can, and he throws in a saran wrap as he comes out. So many tricks, started off a little slow, but finished up fantastic.
Bo, Northwest was proud of you that time. Pulled all the sterilizers are in. I knew you were going to finish that way, but it had to be a little scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty confident with that trick. I've done it pretty smooth every time I've tried it, and you know, I just wanted to give the fans what they want. You know, no one's doing them here, but yeah.
91.0 the score to beat 92. Congratulations, you're in that hot seat.
Nice, thank you.
So Bo Bamberg, the new leader for the moment. Here's a look at our current standings. On top, Bamberg with that 92, Ronnie Renner 91, and Clowers in third with a 90.6. Coming up next, Drake McElroy. His riding so frightfully on the edge, you might want to look away. I think not. Stay close. Washington and the Xbox Pro of FMX, presented by Mountain Dew. Pat Parnell along with Kenan Harkin. Now our last rider, Bo Bamberg, capped a solid run with a risky and crowd-pleasing sterilizer. A score of 92 was handed down from the judges, and the hot seat became his. But up next, Drake McElroy, a rider who's definitely due for a win.
Drake had a tough year, actually. Went down training for the Boom Boom Huff Jam. Pat, you were on that tour. What happened?
Well, it's interesting. Drake is normally such a consistent rider, and you talk about the Boom Boom Huff Jam. It's Tony Hawk's arena tour. There's the current leader, Bo Bamberg, the score of 92 to beat. Now, training for this tour, he's jumping over a half pipe. That's what the setup was. Basically ran into a metal girder, had to have his jaw wired shut.
Man, he doesn't need any wire now. Check him out. 9 o'clock knack, getting so twisted. He is on. Extended and going through the turns, getting all the tricks done, squeezing them all in. This guy is back with a vengeance. Landing a little bit low.
So far, though, good mix of tricks, hasn't repeated once. Taking it through the rhythm section. Look at the extension on that. It's so stretched out on his Superman variations.
Oh, getting scorpioned with that one-handed seat grab.
Interesting note, too, on last night's event, got second just behind Bartram. Pulls a nice stripper, a little tribute to Ronnie Renner.
And that's exactly what Drake is, keeping up with all the new moves. He's creating new moves. He's created a trick called the dead body, Ted's body, or the corpse. Take your pick. It is a very extended bar hop. We'll probably see him do that. There's the lazy boy. And there it is, Ted's body.
I love the extension on that, where the spinal cord is just laid out in front of that front tire.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Once again, great extension on the Indian Air. And notice...
Oh, what's that? He was going for a one-handed 9 o'clock knack.
Watch the pace that he keeps up, though. Such intensity, a frenetic pace in the corners. And that is going to do it for Drake McElroy. One of the best we've seen so far here tonight.
And he really goes for it. In his first replay, we're going to see the cliffhanger as he comes down, nearly hitting his face here. You can see, might need some more wire. I don't think so. He's safe. And he's really got his own style, and you can see it here with this heart attack one-hander.
Great extension on everything out there. It looked like you had everything dialed tonight.
Yeah, I tried to throw everything out as best I could, stretch all my stuff to its fullest. Overjumped a couple times because I was trying to keep it big, but I'm pumped. I just like to get up for No Fear, Moto Triple X, BBH, THQ, and Maxis.
We're going to have to call you the magician, a big bag of tricks. Bamberg at 92.0. You're in the hot seat, 92.5.
So the young Drake McElroy takes the hot seat for the moment. Look at the current standings. Drake up on top, Bo Bamberg in second, and Ronnie Renner in third. The Mountain Dew World, and also one of the most deceptively difficult freestyle tricks, displays a bike rider's true handling skills. Control and power is what it's all about, and tonight, 6 riders, judged by their own peers, show Tacoma the depth of their talent.
I'm not here to jump some small jump. These people don't pay 25 bucks to see somebody hit like a 60-footer, you know. I'm going to go for the 80-footer, so.
I don't know, I like it when the guys just tweak the bars down and just give it all they got. I mean, I don't know, a whip, you can really tell when a guy throws a huge whip.
Jeff Tilton is one of those guys, already winning 2 in a row. Tilton wanted a third.
We have 3 other judges out there. In your mind, who won?
I'd have to pick Tilt. Right now, I'm looking at Tilton. He's got just a sick whip.
Tilt threw it down, so you got to give him props for that.
Set the new standard in whips.
I'd like to think, man, my No Fear Spy Hanson's Energy Drink Honda's working great out there, and, you know, I'm having fun.
Now back to our freestyle final, where Drake McElroy bumped Bo Bamberg out of the hot seat with some very aggressive riding and a score of 92.5. Up next, however, Adam Jones, protege of Mike Jones, no relation, making a final in his first Triple Crown event. Has to be a milestone for this kid.
Ooh, right away, however, getting in some trouble showing. Maybe the nerves getting to him. I mean, it's such a pressure-filled competition to be riding with the likes of Drake McElroy and Kenny Bartram. So Mr. Jones may be working through some butterflies.
Oh,
yes! Look at that tsunami, was completely vertical.
Had the bike completely tipped as well. Almost perpendicular.
Well, he's got some tricks, definitely poured over right into a cliffhanger.
Loving the view from on board. It just shows you the distance that these guys are clearing. Very deceiving when you look at these guys jump from the side.
Pendulum air.
Jones making it look so easy, and not just the distance, but so many things going on with the brakes, the the bike and get to land properly.
Whoa! Spread eagle. Missing the second jump, however. That will hurt his score.
A critical flaw.
Showing his age here and his inexperience. And there you saw whip from his point of view. Not often you get to see it from that angle.
Big Shaolin, a Shaolin, that bar hop, kind of extending the legs out. You saw Clifford Adaptante doing that trick all last year. As we pointed out at the top of the show, Clifford.
Oh, he's getting squirrely here. He's going for like an Indian air tsunami. His front wheel almost washes out.
Clifford out of the run this year, but Adam Jones trying to do his best in the final. Dead sailor right there.
And Pat, I'm going to have to go on the record and say that this is not going to be a winning run. His father, Dave Jones, looking on. Interesting here, he has the tricks. It was just putting them together, the starfish. And here you can see that tsunami completely vertical, but you want to know what a parent does when his child almost misses a grab? Watch here with this rock solid. And you can see his father knowing that that was very close.
Adam Jones, a score of 90, puts him in 6th place. Stay with us when the Xbox Pro of FMX continues. Cowboy Kenny Bartram. Welcome back, everyone, to the Xbox Pro of FMX. Up next is Vans Triple Crown points leader, Kenny Bartram, who has had a banner year.
They call me the Cowboy. You know, I'm kind of the hick from Oklahoma. And good clean cut kid from Oklahoma. Everybody else is rock star punks. I don't know, I think I'm getting a little bit corrupted being on the Freestyle tour, but not too bad, so. Just having a lot of fun riding my dirt bike. I've definitely had my best year ever this year, winning like 19 out of 20-something events. I don't have any clue why I'm winning that much, but I'm just kind of riding the wave and enjoying it while it lasts. I do try to practice a lot. I think that has a lot to do with why I'm winning so much, or my riding ability. I have a lot of fun when I'm riding, so I just want to be out there riding. A lot of guys show up at 2, 3 o'clock and ride for 5 minutes. I happen to do that today, but normally I'm here at 9 o'clock and am here first one on the track riding and get to ride for an hour or so every event. I think that has a lot to do with it. Whenever I go home, I actually don't ride that much as far as freestyle. I ride enduros and motocross and just kind of play around and get some diversity in my riding to keep it fun. Whenever I come to the events, that's the serious time. Practice on good ramps, a good course, and all that. So.
Back to the finals here. Kenny Bartram looking for a repeat. He is the winner from last night's event. First jump starts off
big
strong.
tsunami. And that's what Kenny Bartram has been doing all year. He comes out with his 6-shooters blazing.
And throws in tons of combinations right there.
Saran to Saran. Watch it through the turn. No problem. Former motocross rider. So he's got that bike handling skills. He's got him down.
It was great seeing
Cliffhanger to suicide, no-hander lander.
It was great seeing that footage of him, just the racing influence from Kenny, relative Guy Cooper. Kenny spent many years in the racing circuit. But now, just the most formidable force on the Vans Triple Crown.
Absolutely. He is becoming a legend in his own right. There's rumors that he's learned the backflip also. I don't think we're going to see it here tonight. I don't think he's got him down to where he can hit it over gaps. However, he is pushing himself. You can see a double grab scissor, the Indian air. Kenny really just annihilating the Tacoma Dome. This evening, it lit a Saran to Superman seat grab.
Such a hero to the fans of freestyle motocross. Down to earth, so American. The kid drives a Ford F-350 truck. Rack in the back. Nice Cordova on that last hit.
You mean a gun rack in the back?
And see the difference of Kenny in the corners.
And you can also see how he's linking his tricks together. He is punctuating them. They're extended. They're difficult moves, and he's got some originality as well. Look at this. Oh, right, such an extended bar hop. And again, another no-handed lander. Very difficult.
Notice he's throwing an extra trick where a lot of the other riders we saw, like maybe a Shaolin, he'll throw the no-hander lander. And Kenny ends on the rock solid. It's riding like that. That's making Kenny the IFMA points leader right now. And Triple Crown race leader.
He also loves those combo moves. Take a look at this clip hanger. He gets his legs back on, pinches the seat, and does the no-handed lander. And this one, 3 tricks in 1 air. That's a catwalk with no hands to saran wrap to one-handed lander. So much going on. And here's one we haven't seen before. Take a look. Saran wrap to Superman seat grab.
At 93.5, you're in that Xbox hot seat. McElroy out, Bartram in.
So Kenny Bartram, can he do it 2 nights in a row? Only 1 more rider to go. That rider being the #1 qualifier coming into the finals, Dustin Miller, right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Xbox Pro of Freestyle Motocross, presented by Mountain Dew. And up right now, our last rider here in the finals, the #1 qualifier coming into tonight's competition, the young Dustin Miller. Just before the break, Drake McElroy ejected out of the hot seat by this guy, Kenny Bartram. His run, a score of 93.5. Very tough score to beat, but a score that we have seen Dustin Miller beat many times.
Oh, yes, and Dustin is so compact on that bike. You can see just the size, but look at the extension he's capable of achieving. Look at all of his tricks are extended. That was a great first 1-2 punch. A Superman seat grab right into a lazy boy. Actually, it was a double grab Superman seat grab. Look at him go.
Dustin Miller right now in 6th place in the overall Vans Triple Crown race for the FMX title.
And Dustin Miller no longer a rookie. He now understands what it takes to ride in a final to get the scores you need. And such inventiveness, a double knack with one hand, that's part of his attributes. He's able to create tricks. He's able to extend existing tricks. He's got them all in his library.
Well, his dad started him on a 3-wheeler when he was 2 years old. By 10 years old, he was amateur racing, turned pro racing in '98. It's definitely helping in the corners. Look at that!
Yeah! Oh, look at that! Man, that was incredible.
Current leader Kenny Bartram sweating right now. The score to beat, once again, a 93.5.
To come so far, Kenny Bartram only to be undone by our first-place qualifier. It may happen here, Pat.
Dustin Miller is definitely turning up the volume on this last run here in the final. Love the variety so far.
Yeah, throwing down some combinations of his own, showing you just how versatile he is.
No repetition.
And utterly fearless as he just drops in off that clip hanger with no hands.
Nice little twist to the rock solid.
That's right, Indian air in that.
And it's those subtleties that the judges love to see.
They will pick up on that for sure.
These guys continuing to push the progression of the sport. And that is going to finish it out for Dustin Miller. What a run we just saw.
Wow, we saw some innovation as well. I was freaking out, and Kenny is too, when he saw this. A rock solid to no-hander lander. Watch as he lands. A little tweak of the body, but he regains his composure, and he threw down so many combinations with the switch-hander here. Robbie?
Dustin Miller, a great run. The crowd was behind you. You had the base jumper, the no-handed landers. You did everything.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked with that run, and it doesn't matter what my score was. I'm just pumped with the way I rode, and I've been looking for that run for quite a while now.
Was there anything you didn't pull off you wanted to? It looked perfect to me.
No, that was pretty much the perfect run in my head.
You think it was good enough to knock off Kenny?
I'm not sure. It's up to the judges.
Well, Kenny Bartram right now in the lead, 93.5. Your score, a 93.3. Second spot, but congratulations, a great run.
Oh, well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Bartram, he's going to be our Vans Triple Crown champion and still undefeated for 2002.
Even Kenny Bartram, a little surprised by that, came down to 0.2 of a point. Kenny Bartram, our winner.
Well, congratulations, another Vans Triple Crown win out there. You're undefeated for 2002, but you thought Dustin might have beat you at the end.
Man, Dustin had the sickest run all year long. The rocks all to no-hand land, the stage dive, every trick was nailed to perfection. I can't give enough props out to Dustin.
The judges on your side. Can you hold on the last round of St. Louis? You're going for that undefeated season. I don't know that it's ever been done.
Nobody, to my knowledge, has ever won all 6 nights of competition in Vans Triple Crown. I'd definitely love to be that person, but I don't know. I just take each night by night, and try to put the KTM in the hot seat.
Reaching those saddlebags, pull out another win in St. Louis. Congratulations.
Thank you, and I'll try.
Cowboy Kenny Bartram, the Xbox Pro champion.
Congratulations goes to Kenny, grabbing the win, a trophy, and a brand new Xbox. Here's a look at the current Vans Triple Crown standings. On top, Kenny Bartram, but Dustin Miller close behind with a 166. And the Built Ford Tough moment of truth has to go to Adam Jones, blowing up in his first ever Triple Crown event. Make sure to check out the third and final stop of the Vans Triple Crown of Freestyle Motocross in St. Louis. That's where we'll find out who's going to drive away with a brand new Ford Ranger. Until then, on behalf of Robbie Floyd, Kenneth Harkin, I'm Pat Parnell. We will see you at the next Vans Triple Crown of Freestyle Motocross.